Hey everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Weber State Sports. Now the fall sports have now ended, and some of them, let's say, have been rather disappointing, but some of them have been decent okay. But we're here to tell you that there is hope for next season. Our first guest on today's show is number 26, Marvin Walker. Thanks for joining us, Marvin.
Thank you, Mark.
How's it going?
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Let's talk about the returning players for next year and filling some big holes. First of all, we've got your quarterback, Cameron Higgins. He's leaving.
Yes, he is.
But you got Mike Hoke coming back. How do you guys feel about Mike Hoke? What do you think he brings to the table?
Oh, there's more than hope, I should say, for Mike. We saw him get a lot of playing time in the second half of the NAU game, and he did nothing but stand out. Mike Hoke is a little more agile and mobile, move around a little bit, not afraid to run. So, next season, there's a lot of high hopes for him. He should, if nothing less, I think he should be the newcomer of the year, be first team All-Big Sky for rushing and passing. He's got a strong arm, so there's a lot of hope for Mike.
Yeah, he can definitely throw that deep ball, as we saw in the NAU game. So
Yes, he can.
It's good to have Mike. Be good to have Mike. What about those up front blocking for him? Who do you got that's going to be up there protecting him?
Yes, we have two actually first team All-Big Sky linemen. Caleb Turner and J.C. Orm got first team. And we're still young on the line. I don't think we have any seniors at all. So Mike Hoke will have Higgins' old line, and he should be just fine in that pocket.
Okay. Now some other even more maybe bigger roles to fill is you've got both of your star wide receivers, Joe Collins and Mike Phillips. They're both graduating this year.
Yes, they are.
How are you guys going to fill the hole of them leaving?
Well, I mean, that's definitely big shoes to fill. But we had some young guys that played this year. Eric Walker, Austin Rott will be returning. We have another young guy, number 85, Shaden. He will be returning. So big shoes to fill, and I'm sure we'll do some tough recruiting in that position, but it's nothing the Wildcats can't do. So.
Right. And even you have, I believe it's number 7 on offense.
That's right, Kamana. Kamana will be returning. He had an MCL tear this year, so he'll be rehabbing strong, and he should be ready to go in the springtime.
Okay. And will he be a junior or will he be a senior?
He'll be a junior. He'll be a junior next season.
That'll be good to have him back too.
Yeah, he got a lot of playing time early on in the season before he tore his knee, so
cool.
That should be real important to get him back.
Okay, let's switch sides. Let's go to your specialty on the defensive side.
There we go.
Tell me why the defense is going to be so stellar next year. Why do we got hope for that?
All right. Stellar is the word. We are losing only 4 defensive players as a total. We have 4 seniors last year: Taylor Cedillo, Jordan Brown, Ferron Creighton, and Sam Finn. So we lost 1 defensive back, which is Jordan. So in the secondary, we got a lot of guys returning. Blake Keller, our safety. All the DBs and corners except Ferron, me, Antoine, Keller, David James. So got a lot of guys coming back. So
right.
Maurice Neal and Nick Webb at the backer, which Nick Webb got first team, All-Big Sky. Yeah, so that's a key. And the D-line will be recruiting tough there, and that's something us defensive backs really need to get that pressure on that quarterback so we can get some turnovers this year.
That's right. Now I know, especially being Weber State, a lot of coaches are looking to kind of step up after they come to Weber State. Do you know if are we going to have the same offensive coordinators and quarterback coaches and defensive backs coaches for next season? Or
offensively, I'm sure everybody's coming back. Offensive coordinator Matt Hammer, he'll be returning, and I know Coach Mack still has some time left with us. But defensively, we have a 50-50 chance right now of losing our secondary coach, Andre Dyson. He's kind of iffy about coming back, so there might be a little coaching change there. But both co-defensive coordinators will be coming back. Mm-hmm. So Andre Dyson, as far as I know, will be the only one who will be leaving us.
Thanks for joining us, Marvin. One more question before we let you go. This one concerning Coach Mack. Now, I think he's one of the oldest coaches in FCS football or in all college football. Tell me what it's like to be playing for Coach Mack in I guess he's kind of a little bit of a legend.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a legend all throughout Utah, all throughout the country, really, I'm sure. But Coach Mack, all I got to say about that guy is he's a player's coach. He's a player's coach. He loves his players. He's hard on you just because he wants you to be the best, of course, but he takes care of all of his players. That's one fact about that guy. I love him to death, and I'm happy to be playing for him.
That's good. He'll be coming back.
Yes, he will.
Thanks for joining us again, Marvin.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, the football team actually has some pretty easy, well, not easy, but they got some winnable games next year. They play at Wyoming, and they also play, who else do you guys play?
Utah
State in state, right? Well, that should be a good game. Our next guest from the soccer team, the only senior of the soccer team, Alyssa Toomey. Thanks for joining us, Alyssa.
Yeah, you are welcome.
So that's right. You are the only senior on the team this year. So you got everybody returning.
Except for me.
Except for you, which so who's going to be the one that takes your role and fills the hole that you're going to leave here?
Well, as far as I know, we had a couple injuries last season. So I don't know of any, as of right now, it's hard to say who's going to be the next defensive, starter. So as far as I know, it's going to be a freshman unless some of those girls come back strong enough to be a starter and fill those shoes that I left.
You're right. I know, and you mentioned earlier that Ari Wood, who is she your center fullback right there? Mm-hmm. But she made first team all conference, and she's coming back next semester.
Yes, she is.
What does she bring what kind of hope does she bring for you guys next year?
She is so feisty that I don't even know how to explain it. She just, if anyone gets by her, that's the only time they're ever going to get by her is one time. So she just takes it all, she just gives it all the whole entire game. And she's really offensive minded too, for being our deepest player besides the goalie. She's really offensive minded and can get a lot of things going for us up top. And so that's good to have an offensive threat all the way in the back even.
Yeah, it is. I've been to a couple of your soccer games, and you guys got some feisty players on there. Talk about some of your offensive weapons coming back. I know you got Jessie Badley. I watched her score a couple goals. She seems like she's pretty talented up there. Who else does she have up there to help her out next year?
Well, one of our center mids was Roxy Tebbs. She was, I think, second or third in goals on our team. So the two of them, they've been playing together now for 2 years. They should be getting the gist of each other and playing pretty good together. Then we also had Felicia Sorter, who was a freshman last year. She came up big with some big goals for us, and so hopefully, since it was just her first year last year, she'll get her feet under herself and kind of get some more work together with Jessie a little more, because Jessie's a good playmaker, and so she needs some people to make runs off the ball so she can give the ball to them and then they can score. Yeah. Jessie doesn't really like to score herself. She likes to give the ball to people, but
she's the assist.
She is.
Well, that's good. I know maybe one area of concern for this last year seemed like be the goalkeeper. Mm-hmm. But they got 1 year experience under the belt. Tell me how that maybe helps them for the next year.
Yeah, I think it was hard for them. Last year we had Becca Ritchie, who was an all-conference player.
Right,
I'm pretty sure all 4 years she was here. So our two goalies didn't really get that much playing time up until last year. And so I think with this season, they kind of alternated who was starting. I still don't know who's going to be the starter for next year, but they both improved with each and every game, and they both have good talents that the other one doesn't. One's good on the ground and the other one's better in the air, and so I don't know who it's going to be, but I think with both their experience this year, they're both getting better, and I think they're just going to keep playing and trying to get better out on the off season coming up in the spring, and hopefully that will help them out.
Good. Thanks for joining us, Alyssa. One more question before you go, though. Now, you being a defensive person, you don't get the opportunity to score very often, but this last season, you were able to score your first goal. Tell us about that goal.
Okay, it was sweet, first of all, because I've never, ever scored. And it was just a corner kick, and we were already down 3-0, and we had to win this game to go on to the postseason, so I was just like, I'm going up. And the ball just came to me, and I didn't really mean to shoot it, but it ended up going in, so I was just like, wah! It was pretty sweet.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, we wish good luck to the Wildcats next season. Hopefully they'll have a better season. Mm-hmm. Thanks for joining us, Alyssa.
Yeah.
Continuing on with our interview segment, we've got Bethany Ray of the volleyball team, outside hitter, led the Wildcats, the team, in kills, and also led the Big Sky Conference in aces. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
Thanks.
Okay, start with the first thing. You got a coach who's leaving, Al Givens. Tell me what it was like to play with him.
I loved playing for Al. I played for him a year before I came here in club, and he's just a really laid-back guy, easy guy to play with, and definitely takes his time to teach you what you don't understand, answers questions, and I love playing for him.
That's good. Yeah, he's a good guy. Now you guys kind of started out with like a rough season a little bit. Tell me what what positive you guys take going into next season?
We have a ton of talent. We have, a lot of young girls, which obviously are going to just get better. And
Okay, sorry.
And we have, I don't know, I think just the fact that our options are really open.
Okay.
We have a lot of girls that can play a lot of different positions, so we don't really have to worry about filling those positions. And I think that just graduating one senior and not 5 like we did the year before is really good for us to continue building on what we started this year.
Perfect, yeah. Matter of fact, you mentioned earlier about Piper Wallene.
Right.
What do you think that she can bring to the table next year?
Piper came in really strong as a freshman. And that's something you don't really see, no matter how good they are. Coming in, being a freshman and just playing at a higher level is nerve-wracking. I mean, I remember like it was yesterday, but she came in, stepped up, and was really a leader on the court and off the court. And I think that as she gets older, that's just going to continue to get better. And I mean, her game fundamentally is going to get better too. So
cool. Yeah, that's great. We also talked about some of the other teams in the Big Sky Conference.
Right.
You mentioned that Portland State's kind of always seem to be near the top, but any team really in this league is kind of beatable for you guys. Tell me about how the competition's going to fare next season.
A lot of teams are graduating a lot of their star players. I mean, Montana is losing Jamie Tebow, and Idaho State's losing 4 or 5 of theirs. And a lot of the bigger school or the better teams are losing, and they are going to kind of have to have a rebuilding year, I think, like we did. And so next year, I think that we definitely have an advantage in that sense.
Yeah,
so.
returning so many players. I mean, you only lose the one, Kim, so that's good. One more thing I wanted to ask you is you've got shoot, I just forgot what I was going to ask you there. But that's okay. You led the conference with Aces.
Right.
Is that going to be something that's going to help you guys in your next season as well as you guys continue to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely important. Tough serving is,
40 aces is really impressive.
Is a little bit. Well, thanks. Yeah, I think that, and we have Carissa, who's, up there in blocks and hitting percentage. And we have, quite a few players that are in the top 3, top 5. And so, you might be the first next year, so.
Should be the first. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, we look forward to seeing you play next season. Hopefully we can get more fans out there. One thing I want to talk about is you guys did end the season with a win against Montana State on the road.
Right.
Tell me how that win can help you starting off for the next season.
Well, obviously, it's always good to end on a high note, whether or not you were successful the whole season or not. But I think we grew a whole lot, and I guess, that's kind of cliche to say, but that game. Right. And, just getting beat in 5 at home when we were up 14-12 was really hard. And I think kind of we had a little bit of a bone to pick. And so we went in there and just proved that, we beat them in 3, proved that we could do it. And so for us, I think that being the last memory of this season, going into next season is going to be really good because we know that we're capable. So.
Cool. Well, good luck to next season.
Thank you.
There is hope for next season. That's a good thing.
There is absolutely hope.
Thanks for joining us, Beth.
Yeah, no problem.